Two beautiful countries, both affordable, both warm. But one of them might completely change your retirement and the other might frustrate you. If you're thinking about moving abroad or retiring somewhere new, two countries in Latin America often come up in the same conversation: Panama and Colombia. Both offer warm climates, both are relatively affordable compared to North America or Europe, and both attract thousands of expats every year. But here's the problem. At first glance, they look very similar. Beautiful landscapes, friendly cultures, lower cost of living. But once you actually live there, the differences become huge. Different lifestyle, different infrastructure, different culture, and choosing the wrong one could completely change your experience. And by the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer idea of which country might fit your future. First impressions, the feel of each country. What hits you first? The first thing most people notice about Panama City is the skyline. It is genuinely extraordinary, a wall of glass towers rising from the Pacific coast that looks more like Miami or Singapore than anything you'd imagine from Central America. Panama City is one of the most modern cities in Latin America, full stop. The infrastructure is first world in the best areas, the roads are good, the shopping malls are enormous and air-conditioned, the restaurants range from local fondas to internationally acclaimed fine dining. There's a metro system, there are Whole Foods equivalents, there is almost nothing you would miss from home that you cannot find in Panama City. The first thing most people notice about Colombia, specifically Medellin, which has become the country's most popular expat destination, is the energy. Medellin is alive in a way that is difficult to describe but impossible to miss. The city cascades down and across a steep mountain valley, connected by a remarkable urban cable car and metro system. The streets are full of flowers. The city is called the City of Eternal Spring, and the climate earns that name. The people are extraordinarily warm. There's a particular Colombian quality of social openness, a willingness to include strangers, to laugh with people you've just met, to make you feel seen and welcomed, that visitors almost universally remark upon. Verdict. First impressions, Panama wins on infrastructure and efficiency, Colombia wins on soul, culture, and warmth. Neither is better. They serve different human needs. Cost of living. Many people assume Colombia is dramatically cheaper, and in many ways it is. In cities like Medellin or Cali, rent is relatively low, local food is inexpensive, public transportation is affordable. Panama, especially Panama City, tends to be more expensive. Housing can cost significantly more in modern areas. However, there's an important trade-off. Panama offers stronger infrastructure and more stability. So while Colombia can be cheaper, Panama may feel more predictable. Verdict. Housing? Colombia wins clearly, 20 to 40% cheaper across comparable quality tiers, with dramatically lower purchase prices. Panama's advantage is its better developed luxury and modern apartment stock. Healthcare. Panama, private healthcare in Panama City is high quality and costs roughly 40 to 60% of U.S. prices. International health insurance for a healthy 65-year-old, $200 to $350 per month. The Pensionado program gives 15% off hospital bills and 10% off prescriptions, meaningful savings over time. Colombia has one of the most sophisticated public healthcare systems in Latin America. The EPS system is accessible to legal residents for a monthly contribution of approximately $50 to $80 per month. Private healthcare is excellent in Medellin and Bogotá, at dramatically lower prices than Panama City or the United States. A specialist consultation, $20 to $50. International health insurance for a 65-year-old, $150 to $280. Verdict. Healthcare costs? Colombia wins on price at every level, including insurance premiums and out-of-pocket costs. Lifestyle difference. Life in Panama often feels organized. Banks work smoothly, internet is reliable, processes are relatively efficient. In Colombia, life feels more dynamic, more spontaneous, more social. Cities like Medellin are known for their vibrant nightlife, cafes, and creative energy. Panama can feel quieter socially, but it may feel easier to navigate for newcomers. Climate. Both countries are warm, but the climate experience differs. Panama is tropical, hot and humid most of the year. Colombia offers more variety. Cities like Medellin enjoy what many call eternal spring,
mild temperatures year-round. This is one reason Medellin attracts so many expats. Verdict: climate and geography, Colombia wins on variety and on the extraordinary quality of Medellin's eternal spring climate. Panama wins on simplicity of choice and Boquete's specific mountain charm. For most people, the climate advantage goes to Colombia, particularly Medellin.
Safety, the honest, unfiltered truth. Panama is, by Central and Latin American standards, a relatively safe country. The Global Peace Index consistently ranks it among the safer nations in the region. Panama City is generally considered safer than most comparable Latin American capitals for foreigners who exercise reasonable awareness. Avoid certain neighborhoods, particularly Chorrillo, El Chorrillo, and parts of San Miguelito. Don't display expensive items in public. Don't walk in unfamiliar areas late at night. Petty crime, pickpocketing, phone snatching, bag theft, is the main risk in Panama City for most expats. The tourist and expat areas, Casco Viejo, Miraflores, El Cangrejo, Paitilla, are generally fine. Violent crime against foreigners is relatively rare but not non-existent. Outside major cities and established towns, the security situation varies. The Darien Gap region, Panama's border with Colombia, is genuinely dangerous and should be completely avoided. Do not attempt to travel overland between Panama and Colombia through the Darien. This is not a precaution, it is a hard rule. Colombia is dramatically safer than it was 20 or 30 years ago. The country that was once genuinely one of the most dangerous on earth has undergone a transformation that deserves to be acknowledged clearly. Medellin, which had the world's highest per capita murder rate in the early 1990s, has reduced its homicide rate by over 95% since that peak. The city center is vibrant, the metro system is safe, and hundreds of thousands of expats, digital nomads, and tourists live and visit without incident every year. For expats living in established urban areas, El Poblado and Laureles in Medellin, La Candelaria and Chapinero in Bogotá, the Old City and Boca Grande in Cartagena, the day-to-day safety experience is broadly comparable to many mid-sized U.S. or European cities. Standard urban precautions apply. Don't walk home from bars alone late at night. Don't display expensive phones and cameras openly. Be aware of your surroundings, and use Uber rather than hailing street taxis. Verdict: safety. Panama wins by a meaningful margin, particularly for conservative retirees or those who place high weight on consistent security and institutional stability. Colombia's safety has improved dramatically, and daily life in established expat areas is manageable with awareness, but Panama carries fewer specific risks and a more stable overall environment. Culture. Panama is one of the most culturally diverse countries in the Americas, with indigenous groups, Afro-Caribbean communities, Chinese Panamanian culture, a significant American influence from the Canal Zone era, and the constant cross-cultural flow of one of the world's great commercial hubs. This creates a city, Panama City specifically, that is genuinely international and cosmopolitan in a way that few places in Latin America are. The expat community in Panama City is large, established, and self-sufficient. You can live an entirely English-language life in the main expat areas, socialize exclusively with other foreigners, and never need Spanish beyond the basics for service interactions. For some people, this is an advantage. For others, it is precisely what they are trying to escape. Panamanian culture itself is warm but less effusive than Colombian. There is less of the arms-open social spontaneity that characterizes Colombian social life. Relationships build more slowly. The business orientation of Panama City means that social interactions often have a transactional quality that can feel cold to people who've spent time in warmer Latin cultures. Colombian culture is one of the most vibrant and emotionally generous in the world. I want to be specific about what I mean by that, because warm culture is such an overused phrase that it's stopped meaning anything.
In Colombia, particularly in Medellin and the Antioquia region, there is a tradition of paisa hospitality that creates a specific social quality. A paisa, the term for people from the Antioquia region around Medellin, will invite you to their home after knowing you for 2 days. They will introduce you to their entire extended family. They will include you in their Sunday gatherings, their birthday celebrations, their spontaneous barbecues. They will tell you honestly what they think of you and expect the same in return. Relationships form quickly, deeply, and with a directness that can be shocking to reserved Northern European or North American sensibilities. Verdict: culture. Colombia wins clearly for people who want warmth, genuine social integration, cultural richness, and a life that feels deeply different from home. Panama wins for people who want a cosmopolitan, English-accessible, efficient international hub without deep cultural immersion.